Hey, welcome back. We usually find ourselves digging through dense research papers or complicated data, but today's a little different. Our entire source is this, just one magazine, all about theater. And believe it or not, what's packed inside its pages tells a huge story.
So this is it, Al-Masrah magazine. Al-Masrah, it literally means the theater. And for us today, it's going to be our guide. It's like our key. It's going to let us unlock this very specific, really interesting corner of the cultural world. And as we flip through it, we're going to start piecing together a much, much bigger story. A story about vision, about big-time investment, and, well, about how you actually create art.
Which brings us to the big question, right? How can one single issue of a magazine, with its reviews, its interviews, all that stuff, how can that possibly be a window into the whole machinery of a culture? Well, that's what we're here to figure out. Let's dive in.
All right, first things first, let's metaphorically, open the cover and see what this thing is all about.
Okay, so what is Al-Masrah? Well, it's published by the Department of Culture in Sharjah, which is one of the Emirates in the UAE. But here's what's really important. It's not just some local newsletter. Oh no. Its scope is pan-Arab. That means it's covering plays all the way from Morocco to Kuwait. It's interviewing artists from the entire region. It's basically acting as a central hub for theater. And that tells you something right off the bat. This isn't just a passion project. It's got an official and pretty ambitious mission.
So, as we start flipping through the pages, something jumps out at you almost immediately. There's this one theme that just keeps coming up. You realize that behind this whole vibrant scene, there's a single, really powerful vision driving everything.
And that vision belongs to this man, Sheikh Dr. Sultan Al-Qasimi, the ruler of Sharjah. I mean, the magazine doesn't just give him a passing mention. No way! They dedicate a whole feature article to him. And get this, they call him the captain of Arab theater. That title alone tells you everything, doesn't it? His role isn't just to be a funder, not just to write checks. He's seen as the strategic mind, the real driving force behind this whole thing.
And this quote from him, wow, it just perfectly sums up the whole philosophy. He says, "We are transient, but the theater will remain as long as life remains." Think about that for a second. This isn't about a quick win or a short-term project. The whole investment is framed as a legacy. The goal is to build something permanent, something that's going to outlast everybody and just become a core part of the society.
Now, this is where you see that this isn't just talk. It's not just a nice quote. The magazine lays out this whole network of institutions that have been built up over decades. I mean, look at this. You've got festivals that started way back in 1984, a Pan-Arab Authority, a full-blown university-level performing arts academy, plus grants and awards for playwrights. This is a systematic, long-term construction project in action.
So here's the key takeaway, the big idea. What this magazine is really showing us is a model for something we can call cultural patronage. And I want to be clear, this is not just about writing a check for a play. Not at all. It's about building the entire infrastructure, the whole ecosystem. It's the schools to train the actors, the competitions to discover the writers, the festivals to show everyone the final product. It's the whole shebang. Okay, so a grand vision is, well, it's grand. But how do you actually make it happen? How do you get the next generation of artists on board? Well, you're not going to believe it, but the magazine gives us a perfect little case study on exactly that. Right inside, tucked away, there's this article about a specific training program. It's called the Elements of Theatrical Performance course, and its whole purpose is to find and develop young, up-and-coming theater makers. This is it. This is the high-level vision hitting the ground. This is where the rubber meets the road.
And just look at the path they've laid out. It's so clear. So, you're an aspiring artist, right? You take this intensive summer course. The second you're done, you immediately get a platform, a festival for short plays to show what you've got. And that festival, it's then specifically designed to be a bridge, a launch pad to get you into the big leagues, into the major professional scene. It's a complete talent pipeline from start to finish. And it's all right here, spelled out for us in the magazine.
Okay, so we've got the vision, we've got the training pipeline, but the big question is, what does the actual art look like? What kind of stuff does this whole ecosystem produce? For that, we're going to head over to the review section of the magazine.
And what you see right away is that this support isn't about making one kind of art, some kind of state-approved play. Not at all. The plays being reviewed here are incredibly diverse. They're blending local traditions with global influences, and they're not afraid to tackle some really complex modern themes.
This table is just a fantastic snapshot. So you've got a play called Oddness from Morocco. The review talks about how it mixes local tradition with, get this, Japanese kabuki theater. How cool is that? Then you jump over to Kuwait for Ghasat a War, which is about people who are literally and metaphorically stuck on a bridge, wrestling with having dual identities. And then there's Aker Kartusha from Lebanon, which is all about two young women trying to write a play while dealing with power cuts and all the struggles of daily life. I mean, the range here is just, it's remarkable.
All right, we've seen the vision, we've seen the training, and we've seen the art that comes out of it. So now it's time to zoom back out, connect all these dots, and answer that question we started with.
So what has this one little magazine actually shown us? It's revealed a complete, totally interconnected ecosystem, right? The patron's vision, that gives you the why, the whole reason for doing it. The institutions, they create the structure. The training programs build up the actual talent, and then the festivals and the stages, that's where it all comes together. That's where you see the vibrant, challenging art.
And this is the most important part. None of this is an accident. This didn't just happen. What we've basically uncovered, just by reading one magazine, is a deliberate, carefully planned, top-down strategy to build an entire cultural sector from scratch. It's like a blueprint for how a state can actively grow a sustainable, dynamic art scene.
And all of this leaves us with one last, really fascinating question to chew on. You know, in a world where funding for the arts can be so uncertain, so precarious, is this the answer? Is this kind of comprehensive, state-driven model the best way to guarantee a future for culture? It's a pretty powerful idea, right? Definitely something to think about.